guys, I'm here today with part one of my October book haul. Now I have quite a few books here, some that publishers have very kindly sent me, some that I've bought, and some that I have bought that were on my most anticipated releases of this year, because October is when a lot of books start to get released. This Thursday is Super Thursday, which is the huge publishing day in the publishing world. Basically, publishers reminding us that we should probably start our Christmas shopping, which is a little worrying. We'll not talk about Christmas just yet. The first books that I want to show you are these three, which were very kindly sent to me by Vintage, and they're coming out on the 5th of November. This is a Bronte series that they've just done, and they're really beautiful. They've got French flaps, and inside they look like this, so they're kind of very gothic looking, these ones. The Jane Austen ones were more floral. So we've got Jane Eyre, we've got Anne Bronte's The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which looks like this, and then we've got Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So I think these are absolutely gorgeous. If you're looking to pick up a set of some reissued classics, then bear these ones in mind. I didn't really get on with Wuthering Heights, but I don't know if I should give it another go. It's been a long time since I tried it, and as you guys know, Jane Eyre is one of my absolute favourite, I was going to say classics, but books in general. Love it. The next book I want to show you is one of my most anticipated releases, and it's Silence is Golden by Annabel Pitcher, which came out this week. Annabel is the author of My Sister Lives on the Mantelpiece, which I think is one of the best child narrator novels that I've ever read. I wasn't a huge fan of her second one, which was Ketchup Clouds, but this one is her new one. It's her third novel. Cover is by my lovely friend Leo Nichols. Gorgeous. Look at the inside. It says, "My name is Tess Turner, at least that's what I've always been told. I have a voice, but it isn't mine. It used to say things so I'd fit in, to please my parents, to please my teachers. It used to tell the universe I was something I wasn't. It lied. It never occurred to me that everyone else was lying too, but the words that really hurt weren't the lies. It was the 617 words of truth that turned my world upside down. Words scare me, the lies and the truth, so I decided to stop using them. I am Pluto, silent, inaccessible, billions of miles away from everything I thought I knew." So this is about a girl who stops talking after she discovers a family secret. Annabel is really, as I said, wonderful at doing child narrations and really getting inside the mind of children. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. The next book that I bought is a book that Lena told me to buy, so I bought it, because otherwise she'd shout at me. Not really. It's Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear. Now, Elizabeth Gilbert did a TED talk a while ago about creativity, which I absolutely loved, and she said that writers have a lot of pressure put on them these days, because it used to be that people thought that kind of creativity went through you. You had a muse, and you were struck by inspiration and then you wrote it down, whereas now everything's more visible. We see the writers and we see the hard work that they put in, which shouldn't really change much, because we've always known as writers that it is hard work and it is effort and it is literally you sitting down and making yourself write, and sometimes some days are easier, but mostly it's just a case of getting it done because it's our job. But there is that extra pressure now on the creators and what they're doing and when they're bringing something new out, and there's no escaping the world. And I thought her TED Talk was wonderful. I will link it down below. And this is like an extension of her TED Talk. And I imagine, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's going to be some sort of Amanda Palmer-esque book, which has obviously gone from a TED Talk to a book, and is on creativity and art. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Lena says it's amazing. I trust that girl. The next one is one that has been sent to me by Penguin, and it is called In Order to Live, A North Korean Girl's Journey to Freedom by Ummi Park. And I can't go to the event that Penguin are doing for this because it clashes with an Evening of Man Booker event, because they contacted me about that, but I said I would still love to read it, because North Korea, I mean, it sounds strange to say that a place in the world is fascinating, but I am fascinated by North Korea in the sense that I am fascinated by what humans can do to each other and how people can be made to believe certain things. And yes, so I've read quite a lot of non-fiction books about North Korea, and as I said, this is a new one. It's not out yet, but it's coming out very, very soon. The back says, "I wasn't dreaming of freedom when I escaped from North Korea. I didn't even know what it meant to be free. All I knew was that if my family stayed behind, we would probably die from starvation, from disease, from the inhuman conditions of a prison labour camp. The hunger had become unbearable. I was willing to risk my life for the promise of a bowl of rice, but there was more to our journey than our own survival. My mother and I were searching for my older sister, Yumni, who had left for China a few days earlier and had not been heard from since. Along my journey, I have seen the horrors that humans can inflict on one another, but I've also witnessed acts of tenderness and kindness and sacrifice in the worst imaginable circumstances. I know that it is possible to lose part of your humanity in order to survive, but I also know that the spark of human dignity is never completely extinguished, and given the oxygen of freedom and the power of love, it can grow again. This is my story of the choices I made in order to live. Yeah. Maybe a bit emotional, that. The next one I bought is called Lois the Witch, and it's by Elizabeth Gaskell. I bought it because Alicia was telling me about it. I didn't know that it existed, and I love North and South, so I thought I'd pick this up. Might be a good one to read around Halloween. It says, fear of Satan becomes murder in the name of God. Newly orphaned, the God-fearing and heartbroken Lois is sent from the Atlantic to live with her uncle's family in Salem, but on her arrival she finds herself the object of cruel hostility, potent jealousy, and mad desire. When the local pastor's daughters are contorted and convulsed by apparent satanic powers, the whole town is whipped into a hysterical witch hunt. So there we go, historical fiction about the witch hunts in Salem, which I find extremely interesting. The next is a poetry collection that I bought, which is published by Seren, and it's called The Art of Falling by Kim Moore. I've already read some of these. I haven't completely fallen in love yet, but there are some really lovely things in here. The first poem is called And the Soul. And the soul, if she is to know herself, must look into the soul and find what kind of beast it's hiding. This poem reminds me of demons, okay? And if it be a horse, open the gate and let it run. And if it be a rabbit, give it sand dunes to disappear in. And if it be a swan, create a mirror image and give it water. And if it be a badger, grow a sloping woodland in your heart. And if it be a tick, let the blood flow until it's sated. And if it be a fish, there must be a river and a mountain. And if it be a cat, find some people to ignore. But if it be a wolf, you'll know from its restless way of moving. If it be a wolf, throw back your head and let it howl. Yeah, I really love that. It reminds me of demons and His Dark Materials. The way that a lot of these poems are written, from what I've read so far, they kind of have that parable-esque way of narrating, kind of simple, almost instructive, and I find that quite interesting, so I'll report back when I've read it more. The next book that I bought is The Diary of a Provincial Lady by E.M. Delafield, which I've obviously seen around a lot. I'm sure a lot of you have read this. I have never read it. I am going to be reading the first diary. I think that there are 3 in here, so I'm going to be reading the first part for my real life book club this month. So I'll be reading this very soon. It's supposed to be very funny. It's 1920s housewife. Kind of 1920s Bridget Jones, can I say that? That's the vibe I've been getting from it anyway. So yeah, I'll tell you more about it once I have read it. And finally, this book, which came out yesterday, which I think we've all been swooning over, is the illustrated Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and it is every bit as beautiful and wonderful as I hoped it would be. I'll insert some shots here so that you can have a look. Absolutely amazing. I'm gonna curl up with a cup of tea and a blanket and go through this very soon. I don't know how big they're gonna get though. They're gonna get very big. I think they're bringing out 1 a year. I think Jem K said that he might take a break somewhere around the 4th book because they get very long after that. Well, even the 4th one's very long, but we'll see. I'm so in love with that book. I'm so happy that it exists. When you're reading this, no, books on the brain. When you're watching this, I'm in the midst of doing the 100 poem challenge, writing 100 poems in 48 hours to raise money for charity. I am posting the poems online as I go. I'll leave all the details down below. If you can spread the word or donate a penny or 2, it would be really appreciated. I'm raising money for the Book Bus, who are this wonderful charity who send mobile libraries to rural communities in Africa and Ecuador to help children learn to read. And I'm sure that we all love books and know how important they are and how important stories are to bring people together and to help them in their day-to-day life. So if you can spread the word and donate, it would really mean a lot. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have read any of these books, or if you would like to check them out. Let me know what you've been reading. I will see you guys very, very soon. I hope you're having a great week. Lots of bookish love.